Hey fam, I hope you're doing well. I don't have my headphones with me. Going on a walk. I haven't been running and I'm going crazy. I'm waiting for this hemorrhoid to go away. I think I was pushing it, hitting it too hard. Keep me in your prayers. Keep my butt in your prayers. I feel myself getting better, healing, and hopefully I'll be able to ramp up this training. For the marathon, I think that I got a little over a month. So I'm trying not to push it too hard. I have been an idiot and still running a lot, but my knees hurt and I feel things kind of going and healing slowly. So maybe this break has been needed. I'm curious to see kind of how I'm going to react to doing a long run. I'll probably, maybe do like 2 7-mile runs and then 1 3-mile run, tempo pace, and then a long run on the weekend, or maybe not one of those 7 miles and then replace it for, a 16-mile run. So, or 14 actually, not to overdo it. And then the following week do 18. I'm supposed to do 18 this past weekend. But anyways, sorry it's taken almost 2 minutes for me to get into the details. Lately I've been thinking, my friend Sticks, who's been, super great during this time. Hold on, let me listen to this. He was reminding me of like, hey man, you need to celebrate your wins. Keep track and write down the things that are going well, the things that you're winning on. And he reminded me, he's like, man, this time last year, bro, you didn't know whether you were gonna have your house or not. He says, it's been a year, dude, and you've been making that mortgage payment and you caught it up, $7,000 to $9,000 that it was behind, and you're still in there. And man, it just kind of like helped me sit with a lot of gratitude, for the first time, in a long time, I'm able to make my child support payments. I have been getting a lot of work, but it's not a pattern yet. Another win is, I lost 50 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life. I've been able to consolidate my debt, get a loan, build a relationship with my credit union. I've got not 1 but 2 cars on my own, not needing anyone's help. Not that it's wrong to need someone's help, but things that I didn't think I'd be able to do. I have my Tesla stock back to where I wanted it to be, and I'm sitting well. Like, I've cut down my costs tremendously, and my TikTok blew up. I got I think over 400 followers. One of my reels went viral, and I'm also making a plan of getting another roommate, redoing my garage, putting my kids in there, and getting another roommate to help get out of this hole that I'm in. I've been able to see my kids consistently. Things haven't really worked out with scheduling because I've gotten work and I wanted to swap, but it hasn't worked. So I'm been learning to trust my mom to come and watch my kids, and they're old enough, and but I need to celebrate these things that are going well. My credit score's gone up over 100 points. you know, and I'm not even done. You know, I'm stacking these wins brick by brick, and that's my message to you today. Look back. Look back and see where you're at. You know, honestly, man, 25-year-old me, you know, would be impressed of where I'm at, even though I'm divorced and all these things. We have a lot to celebrate, man. And I think it's easy to get, you know, lost in the weeds and miss the forest for the trees. I'm taking a couple weeks off to be able to work on my home. And yeah, there's a lot more that I can celebrate. There's a lot more that I can be grateful for. And this is just the beginning. You know, if I continue to go down this path and do the things that I know I need to be doing, imagine where I'll be another 5 years from now or 10 years from now. You know, for all I know, this could be the best position I could have ever found myself in. Even though at the time, man, I felt like I was drowning. I felt like I couldn't catch my breath and get my head above water. But I'm doing okay. I'm alive. I'm healthy. You know, I've produced my first pitch trailer and produced a couple projects with Orlando and Christian. And, you know, I know that part of it is, you know, I know nobody else is going to hand me work. And I've got to prove myself and go out and get these things. And this is part of me doing that. This is part of me doing that process of moving forward and being the person that's ready for when the opportunity comes. Because no one's going to hand you anything. You've got to build, and then they'll come. Also, you know, recently heard, you know, you'll lose money chasing women, but you'll get women chasing money. Not that that's what it's about, but when our priorities shift and we become men that are on a mission, that are on a path, it makes us more attractive. You know, not just to the opposite sex, but to opportunity. So what kind of things do you need to be celebrating for? You know, looking back in the last week, what's something you can be thankful for, grateful for? What's something you can celebrate? I think that's where we need to shift our focus as we continue to pursue a way forward, as we continue to pursue, you know, the life that we want. Also, last week started our first week of mentoring at my old high school. You know, looking back, I've been able to do this for the last 8 to 9 years, pouring into hundreds of kids that I see myself in. I need to be the consistent part of my life. I need to be the anchor. I am the captain of my soul. So yeah, I don't want to bore you too much, but What are those wins that you've overlooked? They can be small. I was able to find a quote nearby to reprogram my walkies so I can, rent them out so they can make money for me as part of my kit as a producer. And I've got 12 on one channel and 8 on another. And I did some research, and there's a spot down the street from my house that actually programs them for half the rate of the quote that I was getting in the past. I'll take that as a win. Hang in there, man. The only thing you have to do is not give up. The enemy has to know that you're not going to give up. No matter what, you're going to fucking crush it. It's the last person that stands, the last person standing that wins. I love you. Take care of yourself. I hope you're well. Peace.